control. Her gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. It's our Friday festival of fun right here on the show. We got 2 full hours to completely entertain you and bewilder you with the magic that is the Paranormal Portal. So I hope you're ready to be amazed and bewildered. It might just be bewildered like, why am I watching this? But anyway, hopefully you'll continue to watch it, and hopefully you have a good time. Happy Friday, everybody. You made it. You're on the weekend now. Life is good. Unless you work weekends, then sorry. Sorry. I don't know what to say, but I know I worked many jobs where there was no such thing as a weekend. It was just, you got a couple days off every once in a while. But if that's your case, I do apologize, but welcome to the show anyway. As always, I am joined on this fine Friday evening by my good friend, my right hand, my big toe, my motivation to be a better man, Mr. Don Longbeard. Welcome to the show, brother.
I'm befuddled myself.
Well, I'm just trying to build it up, and it's the showmanship, right? Of course, I'm happy you're here, though.
There you go.
Welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I just noticed Lunatic Fringe said it's their birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
Wow.
Lunatic! Wow, yeah, another rotation.
You made it. Another year under your belt. Congratulations. I hope it was a magical, wonderful day. However you celebrated, I hope it was fun. If you're
still celebrating, congratulations. I hope it's fun.
if we're part of your celebration, then all the better. Thank you so much. That kind of feels like we're invited to the party, and that's awesome. So thank you so much, and happy birthday. Hope it's a wonderful day. And to any others of you out there who are celebrating a birthday today, then happy birthday to you as well. That'd be kind of nice if we had birthday announcements. But we don't know when anybody's born, so if you want...
I can barely remember when I was born.
I know. I've missed a few of my birthdays, just like people come up to me, happy birthday. I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, that's true.
I think I missed my whole 36th year. No, I was 42. I missed the entire year. I
The
thought
whole
I was
year?
43. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
I
Yeah,
asked. I was like,
yeah. You got to kind of remember how many years you got under your belt.
yeah, I totally forgot.
But welcome everybody. We're going to do a lot of different stuff tonight. We're going to focus on some Sasquatch later on in the show, so we got that going for us, and we got a lot of other things. But a special thank you to Freaky Friday.
Oh.
We love you guys. Thank you for setting the table for us to sit down and feast, because you guys make the magic happen.
What?
For those
He cooked too?
I don't, it was a metaphor.
Oh, metaphor.
Actually,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
metaphor.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
I'm sure Kev
I
can.
was like, dang.
Kev can probably throw down like some Bobby
Probably.
Flay over there.
Would you like some haggis?
Maybe haggis. I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never eaten that, but yeah, thank you guys. Oh, okay. We're always thrilled to follow you, and it's a sincere honor to those of you that are hanging with us from TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. It's a wonderful deal. But, Don,
Yes, sir.
how'd you like to do some news?
Some news.
Let's do some news.
News.
Ready for the news?
The news.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk. As always, I am your anchor, Brent Thomas, and my co-anchor, Mr. Longbeard, here for color commentary and such.
It's very colorful sometimes.
We got some news to get through tonight, so let's dig right in, because there's lots to work through. Did you see it already?
Yeah.
Are you cheating? You're getting the sneak peeks, Don. That's
yeah,
not fair.
well, I'm supposed to.
Yeah, that's true.
That way I can set the stage by laughing and going, that's ridiculous.
It is, but ladies and gentlemen, I think there'll probably be an obituary coming up from one of our esteemed billionaire club. It's just, I don't know. These guys are rushing headfirst to be the first to go to space. And looks like Richard Branson is now poised to be a serious contender here. And this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Branson is now set to beat Bezos to space. I guess he's going to have the bragging rights unless something goes seriously wrong. And I sincerely hope not. I mean, it's kind of cool that they're privatizing the space industry, I guess, because hopefully it'll get to be an affordable option for all of us to go up and check out what's going on up there. The ongoing space race between Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic could be settled in just 9 days' time.
9 days, wow.
Oof, I guess they've been really cooking.
Wow.
Just last week, we speculated that Jeff Bezos, who is due to fly to the edge of space aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft on July 20th, would beat rival Richard Branson to the punch. Now, however, Virgin Galactic has announced that it will be launching its next flight of VSS Unity, with Branson aboard on July 11th, a full 9 days earlier. It's the latest development in what can only be described as space tourism's answer to the space race, with both Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin vying to launch their respective flights before the other. Even now, however, things are not set in stone. Bad weather on Sunday, for instance, could scupper Branson's launch, potentially giving Bezos a chance to make it to the edge of space before him.
Oh, no.
It's also possible that Bezos will reschedule to an earlier date. Ooh. Yeah, that's how accidents happen, folks.
Yep.
That's how they happen.
Got all this money, I might as well just throw it away.
I'm going to pay more money and get to launch earlier. Ooh, it's good enough. It's ready enough.
It's ready enough.
Whoever ultimately wins it will mark the beginning of a whole new era of spaceflight, with private firms offering relatively affordable seats to, albeit wealthy, civilian passengers. Yeah, I don't think it's going to filter down to us for a long time, but eventually, as competition increases, prices could come down to the point where even regular members of the public will be able to catch a glimpse of our planet from far above. For both Bezos and Branson, it's a chance to put their names firmly in the history books. I guess that's what it is. It's all about the legacy, right, Don?
Yeah, but who else is going to have a legacy?
Who?
The guy who shot himself on a steam-propelled rocket to the firmament. He's got a firm spot right there.
I think he didn't make it to the firmament, though. I think he only made it like a few thousand feet, and then it just went sideways, didn't it?
Twice.
Yeah, the first,
Didn't the second time kill him?
Yeah, the second time he did not walk away from it.
Yeah.
That's, and that,
Yeah.
of course, is tragic to his family and those who are
True.
supporting him.
I will give that
but
condolences there. But
but it's that whole rush to do it. I don't know. I'm kind of. I think you take your time with something like this, folks, because when it goes sideways that far up, you're in a big world of hurt.
It's not really sideways anymore. It's any ways it wants to go.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be great. Hey, he's the first one to hit the sun. It's like, no, that's not the one you want to be remembered for.
I'll be real dead by then.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's the news bit. That's fresh off the presses as of today, July 2nd, 2021. So we'll see whether Bezos or Branson wins that race. And there might be some really good stock opportunities ahead for for people. I'm just saying. You might want to watch the markets there. But yeah, interesting story. Interesting story. So that's number one on our list tonight. Number two is coming from the disclosure world. And this is from unexplained-mysteries.com as well. And they have an article here that says UK has no plans to launch UFO investigation. That's it. They're just...
Maybe it's because of the failure of the United States to give up their UFO information.
Probably. But it says the recent release of the U.S. government's UFO report doesn't seem to have impressed politicians in the UK. I don't think anybody's largely impressed by what was released. But anyway, with the Pentagon confirming the existence of unidentified aerial phenomena in U.S. airspace, the governments of other countries have since been discussing what to do with this information. In the UK, the issue of whether or not the British Ministry of Defence takes the topic seriously was raised in the House of Lords by former Conservative Party Treasurer Lord Sarfraz on Wednesday. That sounds like a seasoning, doesn't it? I don't know. My steak needs more Lord Sarfraz. For decades, people who had been concerned with UFOs have been dismissed as fanaticists, he said. But now the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, who oversees 17 intelligence agencies, has published a report saying that the data on UFOs is inconclusive.
Oh, my goodness.
Inconclusive. Well, that just means they don't know. The report offers several possible explanations. It does not rule out that these could be military aircraft with very fast capabilities, or even extraterrestrial phenomena. Either way, can the minister reassure members of the public that the Ministry of Defense, MOD, takes reports of unidentified objects in our airspace very seriously. In response, Minister of State Baroness Goldie, wow, those titles, maintain that the MOD holds no reports on unidentified aerial phenomena. Baloney. That's a whole load of crock. That's a big bucket of steam in hell right there. But that it also constantly monitors UK airspace to identify and respond to any credible threat to its integrity, and is confident in the existing measures in place to protect it. Wow, that's pretty silly. The MOD has no plans to conduct its own report into UAP because in over 50 years, no such reporting has indicated the existence of any military threat to the United Kingdom, she concluded. Wow. And then the next day, it'll be like, well, for 50 years, we've been just fine. And then the meteor hits or something. It's like, yeah, well, on the 51st year is when things went to hell. So that's kind of narrow-sighted. I just think they don't want to have to. They don't want to have to disclose anything, is what it is. So, on the surface, they're not going to do anything, folks.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. But there's so much going on around the world right now. It's not exactly high priority for some places, right?
No, absolutely not. I suppose that's very true. But, I think it's probably in their best interest to try to figure out who's in their airspace. But anyway, I guess they're fine with it. Maybe they've made friends and they're not unexplained.
Not worried about it anymore. Yeah, they're not unexplained. Yeah.
They
we
actually
know exactly who they are.
Yeah, we know who they are and what they're doing here. It's just you don't. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters. All right, folks. This is the news. I can't write this stuff. I can't make it up. All right, the next story is coming from Loch Ness.
Loch Ness.
Actually, Kev Baker's neighborhood.
Yeah.
as it turns out. And I don't know that he still lives up there, but he did. I think he grew up there. Loch Ness sees record low water level. So
that's right.
Nessie might be having a little issues down there. I'm sure there's plenty more in there because it's a very, very deep lake. Right.
Well, and I read something, just the headline, the mystery of Nessie may be solved due to lowering levels of water. So, specifically what it said. So,
yeah, I suppose if it dries out, whatever's left is probably Nessie. Hey, you see that big dried up pile of animal? That's Nessie. Okay, the end.
Mystery solved.
Yep.
Thanks, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Reggie. The home of the elusive Loch Ness monster has been has seen a significant water level reduction in recent weeks. The world-famous loch is well known for its monster mystery, has been in the news this week after it was revealed that it's lost a staggering 56 billion liters of water due to the dry weather. Where's the water going then? Locals and visitors alike were surprised to find that some of the old wooden piers that were usually submerged beneath the surface and now high and dry. It's believed that overall the loch's water level is reduced by around 1 meter. Not an awful lot considering that the loch contains more water than all the lakes, rivers, and reservoirs in England and Wales combined, but it is still a significant amount of water loss given how large Loch Ness is. Those with a keen interest in the Loch Ness monster, such as Lochside resident Steve Feltham, have commented on the possibility that the situation could help to reveal previously hidden clues. In 30 years of sitting here, I can't remember ever seeing the water down this low, he wrote on Facebook. If it carries on like this, we will have the Nessie mystery solved. Well, yeah. If you drain the tub, you're going to find the toys. That's how it works.
I heard the scum at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. That's
how it works.
That is a little disturbing, but is it all just evaporating and going to where? I wonder how this is fed. Is it fed by aquifers? Or is the Loch Ness fed by rainwater?
Water really doesn't go anywhere except up and come back down.
Right. That's
pretty much the cycle of rain.
Right. I mean, but you know what I mean? Is it coming from underground aquifers that feed the water level and maybe they're running low or what? Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Yeah. I don't know.
Steve Feltham also wrote the foreword for Ken Gerard's book.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So, some cool stuff and all things. But there you have it. That's the mystery deepens or shallows around Loch Ness, as the case may be.
I was wondering if you're going to catch that one.
I did. All right, here's a clip that actually has a video, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not going to play the video. Obviously, when we're on the network, it doesn't do us a lot of good because we end up excluding a bunch of the audience that doesn't have a visual ability to see it. So what I will do is I'll copy this our article link and put it in the chat so you guys can check it out yourself. If you want to see the video, I've seen the video and largely there's not much to see. It's just that something is in the woods that is absolutely... Oh, I didn't mean to paste it. Jesus. Yeah. I hate when I do that.
I saw that. I was like, well, there's nothing I can say that's going to change it.
No. Let me just do this. I just got to read it now because I screwed it up, folks. But Bigfoot chases ATV video clip raises eyebrows. This is from Thursday, the 1st of July, 2021. A rather unconvincing video. I didn't even read that before, but that's hilarious. A rather unconvincing video of a Bigfoot pursuing two men riding on ATV has been doing the rounds online, given how easy it is these days to produce fake videos of UFOs, ghosts, and Bigfoot. It's no surprise that social media sites are awash with clips that can be described as dubious at best. The latest one, which is entitled Bigfoot Chases Man on ATV, was uploaded on the video sharing site TikTok, where it has managed to rack up over 250,000 likes from viewers. The footage was filmed by one of the two men riding an ATV, an all-terrain vehicle. I love that they have to explain ATV. Along a trail in the middle of some woods. The location is unknown, but it's believed to be somewhere in North America. As they continue along the trail, a note appears implying that someone or something had placed a downed tree across the route. Although there is no evidence that it was put there deliberately, the camera then pans to catch a glimpse of a humanoid figure running through the woods. Suffice it to say there are some issues with this footage, especially with the Bigfoot, which looks suspiciously like a person wearing a flimsy costume of some kind. It also appears to be remarkably short, has no musculature, and does not move like a large ape. You can check out the video for yourself below. I'm going to recopy this link. Hold on, folks. And I'll put it in the thing. There's a few things that I want to go over just from the screen capture that they have here on the article itself. Let me see. Here it is. Okay. I got to reopen it and copy the link this time instead of pasting another one. Copy. All right. I'm going to go in the vault here and put it into there for the people in there. You can check it out. And I'm going to go into our YouTube chat and let me make sure I'm here. Okay. And paste it there. If you want to look at the video, you sure can. It's mostly the two guys just talking and then crossing by a very small tree that's blocking part of the path. But let me get this back up now. I did want to, for those of you on YouTube and those of you that have the link and can open it, I wanted to point this out. Generally in Bigfoot sightings, and I can't say exclusively, but 99% of the time, Bigfoots have no neck, no visible neck. I'm sure they have one.
That guy's got a long head.
That's a really long neck and a head perched way on top of the shoulders. A Bigfoot's head is usually situated in front of the trapezius muscles rather than atop them like a human head. Additionally, shoulders are extraordinarily broad. Those are huge, stout creatures generally. There are some that are sighted that look much skinnier, but generally speaking, they still don't have the neck, and they still have the elongated arms. Now, the arms on this are clearly within human range.
Yep.
They're not even slightly longer, and it does look like a baggy costume here. It does look like, even in the Patty film, that was musculature showing through.
Right.
There, you could tell if you spent any time examining the Patterson-Gimlin film that this was a very real creature that had flexing and relaxing musculature right underneath the skin. You could see it flexing and releasing as she moved. You could see the pendulum-like breasts bouncing. The head was sat forward, the sloping brow, so many things that were very clearly indicative of what we understand to be a Bigfoot sighting. This looks like none of that. And if
Titan.
What did Titan say?
He says it looks like the Grinch.
I'll give him a Christmas.
Our friend Will Omer, though, he said he gives you a thumbs up on that assessment.
Oh, thank you, Will. I appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, in the YouTube chat, Will Omer, Will the Grassman is a very active researcher in Washington State, and he knows his stuff. In fact, he's going to take me out.
Oh,
not on a date, no, but out in the woods.
You're lucky.
You can come with too.
I don't want to be the third wheel. I don't want to be an extra
No,
toe.
Will's spoken for. He's spoken for, and it's a Bigfoot expedition kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to iron that out yet this year. But yeah, I don't see anything remotely.
It's very unconvincing.
Yeah, very, very unconvincing. Not only to that effect, but also it doesn't move fast. I mean, clearly as they're driving by, you see the video, and this person is running through the woods, and they're not keeping up. Even they're falling behind quickly. So I'm not convinced. It's not that it couldn't be, but I don't believe it is at all. Like at all.
Somebody playing ninja out in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. It's somebody just putting on some dark clothes, maybe some coveralls. Maybe it's a Bigfoot costume. I don't know, but it's certainly not a true Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Nope.
So there you have it, folks. I just threw it in there because we're going to be getting into Bigfoot stuff again later as well. We got 3 minutes, Don. Oof.
Wow, 3 minutes already?
3 minutes.
Wow.
We got 3 minutes. I think I can get through maybe one more of these.
Elaine, hip hop squatch. Pull up those pants.
Do be sagging, know what I'm saying? Do be sagging. He's representing. I don't want to read this one. That one's not really very much fun. Here's one that I thought was bizarre. Let's see. Which one? Yeah, let's do this one.
Okay.
Because this is more newsworthy and it's kind of freaky at the same time. This is from unexplained-mysteries.com. 74-year-old woman has given birth to twins, folks.
What?
But this is from 2019. This is an older article. I kind of went in their archives and dug this one up. Aramati Mangayama has become the world's oldest mother after giving birth at the tender age of 74.
So tender.
According to reports, Mangayama and her husband of 57 years, Raja Rao, had long ago given up their dream of having children after failing to conceive during their younger years. And it wasn't until they consulted IVF expert Sanakayala Umasankar that they realized that it might not be too late. It's never too late to start a family, folks. There you go. Incredibly, Mangayama found out she was pregnant after just one round of treatment. Everything went smoothly and her twin baby girls were delivered via cesarean section. Both the mother and the babies are doing fine, said Dr. Umasankar. 10 doctors worked for 9 months to keep a close watch on her health. This is a medical miracle. At 74, Mangayama is now the oldest woman ever to give birth. She beats the previous record holder, Maria del Carmen Busada de Lara, who gave birth at age 66 back in 2006. It's due to the grace of God and doctors that I now become the proud father of 2 baby girls, said Rao.
That's actually kind of nice.
It is sweet. It's also kind of, I just have to say this, it's also kind of tragic because these girls are probably going to lose their parents very, very early in life.
Yeah,
that's a tough
went
thing.
Through my head,
yeah. So maybe she'll live extraordinarily long and they'll reach adulthood and everything will be wonderful. But you can only hope. But it is amazing. But I don't know. Is there a reason our bodies turn off that biology at a certain point? Yeah. Hopefully they continue to develop normally and have wonderful lives. That's wonderful for them to have their dream come true of having a family. I think that's beautiful. But, folks, that has been the news.
The news.
Whoops. All right, folks, we are back to the regularly scheduled program just in time for us to go to break, which should kick in any second now, unless there's no bumpers, which could happen.
Ah, there it is.
There's the bumper. So we'll be right back, guys. Don't go away. We got an hour and a half more of the portal for you. Just stick around. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're into the second half hour of our show. And thank you, Warchild. Warchild says, a little paranormal portal before work to get the blood flowing.
Yes. The wake-up call.
That's it. We hope to raise your pulse, but not your ire. If we can do that, we're doing good. Wouldn't you agree, Don?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, folks. So we got another half hour to get through here, and we've got a bunch of stuff to do it with. So let's see. What do I want to crack into first here, Don? What do you want to crack into first?
How about a beer?
Oh, you know what? I actually have to be honest. Today, since it's been really warm,
right?
I actually thought, God, maybe I should get some beer. And I didn't, but I kind of wish I had. Now I kind of wish I had, because now that you mention it, it's like, oh, that would really taste good right now.
Yep.
An ice cold brewski as we go through the Friday night show. But why don't we do some shout outs first? I'll do the TFR. Sure. There's just a few on TFR. We got Bam 420 in there. How you doing, Bam? Daryl Bowles is in there. Good to see you, Daryl. Paradoxical Anomalies in there, and Rio. Rockin' Rio.
Rockin' Rio. Nice to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Thank you all for being here. Oh, you're welcome, Bam. And who we got on YouTubes?
On the YouTubes, we got Brooks, Cold Stairs, Dan Dawson, Digger Dogs here. Our friend Elaine, Ethan. There's Will Wilmer, Grassman58, Lunatic. Happy birthday. Let's see. Somebody just screwed up my list. Maggie's there. Raspberries. Ruger Ridge is here. How you doing, Ruger? Julia's here. Thor's here. Titan. Tracy Gale. Warchild. YTFP Chris. And let's scroll. And Titan. Did I say Titan? I got to say Titan. I got to make sure I say Titan.
You can say it again.
A Titan is here.
Ruthie.
Ruthie's here. Hi, Ruthie.
Hi, Ruthie.
Herman's here. Jocelyn's here. Jordan's here. Crystal came in. Crystal's a new name to me.
Nice. Crystal Langlet. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. It's a new one to me, too.
I'm going to call it... Oh, Rachel gets it right.
Raspberries? Did you say raspberries?
Yeah, I said raspberries.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raspberries is from the UK, as a matter of fact. And was telling us how, that... they got other things going on, other than, identifying, UAPs and things like that.
Well,
and that's understandable. The state of the world. Android Purity's here, and Aussie's here. That's true too. I mean, we've got to be looking towards our own before we can look towards the sky, can't we?
I agree. I think that's kind of true as well. I mean, obviously, many people are seeing flying saucers and other weirdness without actually looking for it. It just kind of happens. But yeah, I think we could do a lot with just like feeding the hungry and clothing and sheltering the poor. Maybe that should be a little further up on the list. But
well,
it's not a perfect world.
The people with money who are funding these things, like Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, they're so worried about what they can achieve and this is my opinion, that they forget about who we need to achieve for. What
they should achieve, yeah.
Yep,
I think you're right.
That's what capitalism's supposed to do.
Well, yeah, I agree. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open if you want to call into the show and share something paranormal of your very own, or cryptid, or UFO-y, whatever you want.
Whatever fits in the show, which is pretty much anything.
Anything fits in the show. But the number is 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500. And that's how you get in touch with us. If you want, some say we are so divided, it will take disclosure of aliens for us to finally come together. I don't even think that would do it.
Nah.
Because there's some people you could put an extraterrestrial on their dinner table and they would still not believe it. Yeah, they probably wouldn't go for that very well. I don't think the extraterrestrials would appreciate it much, but I'm just saying there's some people that just will not believe, and that's fine. That's just the thing. We don't need to be like thinkers.
That's a good point, Raspberries.
What'd she say?
Raspberry says you'll not find a politician in the UK that wants to go on record about UAPs in the middle of the Brexit fiasco.
Oh, is that a fiasco? I've kind of lost track of what's going on.
It's still going on. Yeah.
It is? Yeah. Oh, geez. All right. Well, that doesn't surprise me because I think they weren't really counting on that over there in the, in their ruling parties weren't really counting on having to do a Brexit, but it turns out they do. All right, so let's get to more of this fun. Again, the lines are open if you've got something to share. I know that been exchanging an email with a certain listener who's supposed to be calling in. But, we'll get to that, I guess, when he calls in. So why don't we first of all start with our Factinate article.
Sure.
Again, we're churning down the list. Look at it, it's still way up here, Don. It's hardly every time
there's a phone call.
Hey, there's a phone call. Wow, it's almost as if I summoned it. I wonder if that's it. All right, this is area code 904. You're on the air.
Well, my name is Terry, and I had an experience that changed my life.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
I moved into this house that was haunted.
Okay.
I didn't know it was haunted, although I had plenty of indications.
Mm-hmm.
I would sit there and listen to boots on a wood floor in a carpeted section of my house.
Oh.
And I used to ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd have hundreds of flies in the middle of winter that would appear on this one fucking window pane.
Oh, watch your language, though.
And
don't swear, please. We are live on a lot of networks.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Just keep it clean.
I'm sorry. I don't realize, but this is just what happened to me.
Okay. By all means, continue.
And one of the worst things that really made me angry was every time I had this remote control that it stopped working everything but turning on and off the TV. To turn on and off the TV, I had to get my ass up off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll pardon my French.
Yeah, let's not use French anymore.
Okay. It was like amazing. I could time it. I could just barely get my butt down.
Mm-hmm.
It was only until I set my butt down that the TV would turn off.
Oh.
And that was the most aggravating thing, but it got so much worse than that. Before it was over, I had hands choking me.
Wow.
Not quite all my air, but it was like an 8-year-old child choking you. It woke me up. The only light was my little green light on the computer flashing.
Oh.
And I saw these whispering hands that disappeared through the window. And I moved this girlfriend in, or Francis Sight. And the first night that I moved her in, she moved me in a different bedroom, and she said, "There's something coming through the attic up there."
Oh, no.
Later on, I learned there was somebody who was a Vietnam vet and kind of freaked out, wigged out, and it blew his brains out in the house, in the room that I was living in.
Oh, no.
And I watched. All right, my cat used to dig up the carpet.
Okay.
So in order to close the door, you have to push it real hard.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that really freaked me out was when I was walking into the bathroom, and this is 7 years sober and clean. Okay. Not like now, but then it was 7 years sober and clean. And I watched that door handle turn and that door fucking shut.
Ooh.
And I just didn't know what to think. You know, it just kind of...
Okay, I'm sorry. I just can't. I love your story. I honestly do, but I can't have the swearing on the show. We have lots of little ones listening, and it'll also get us in a lot of trouble on our streaming as well. So I do apologize. I have to cut you off, but we just can't have swearing. So I apologize, but. It's a terrifying story, and my heart goes out to the guy. I don't know what else to say, but if you can call in again and just maybe rehearse it a little bit and let us know what happened, I'd love to hear what your story is. Unfortunately, we can't have the the swearing on the show. We are on a network. We're on several networks right now, as well as streaming on our own platform on YouTube. So that's the kind of stuff that'll get us in a lot of trouble. We don't have one of those delays where we can just bleep it out as it happens, but my apologies to have to cut that off. But it's a family show. So anyway, that's terrifying stuff for sure. But that's I just don't, I hope he found his way out of it or moved or whatever and got away from that situation. That's really scary stuff. There's no question. So, all right, let's continue here. We're going to hit the Factinate article. Sound good to you, Don?
Yes, Factinate, because they got great articles.
Well, they got this one great one we're working through for weeks now, and we're just going to visit this for a little bit, and then we'll get into the Bigfoot stuff in the second hour. We got a lot of that coming up. A lot of cool articles. Hey, Don, have you had any experiences yet? Thor's asking.
No.
Oh, yes, you have.
Well, not anything that lately. I mean,
okay.
The things that have happened here, yes, those were things that I'll consider and I think about all the time. About the moving through me thing, and that was kind of weird, and all this goosebumps and stuff. And the different things that have happened here. But since then, no, I really haven't had much going on.
Yeah, it's been real quiet for a long time. Huh? It has been pretty much in the studio here, knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx any of this and challenge the fates, as it were. But we're going to get to this Factinate article, and this has been a chain of wonderful stories. I've really enjoyed these stories. They're very well done. It's aggregated by a Stephen Y., who is a writer at Factinate, and he aggregated these from Reddit, but there's a lot of great stories on here. And the article is... Does
that make him an aggravator?
Aggregator.
Ah.
Not aggravator.
Gotcha.
Unsettling experiences. And there's a bigger title than that, but number 67 is The Mysterious Radio. It says, my husband was sleeping in the back of our truck, and I was starting to get super tired while driving. I heard another trucker on the radio and started chatting with him, and he helped me stay awake until I stopped off at a truck stop where my husband could take over. The next morning, I told my husband what had happened, and he told her the radio was broken and that what happened was impossible.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool.
It's kind of weird, though, because anymore, if your radio is broken, you're pretty much in hot water.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to keep that thing running now.
Oh, so. Okay. Well, that's probably true. But, yeah, that was the weird part is that it went to the third person in the narrative, and I don't know why. He told her here, but it started out my husband was sleeping.
Yep. So
it makes me a little suspicious of the story when it shifts the tense of the story, where the story is being told from. But maybe it's real. I don't know. But that was submitted by Shadow Orc Slayer. But anytime a story shifts from first person to third person, it's like, wait a minute, what happened?
What the heck?
All right, number 68, a beastly encounter. When I was very young, I had a particularly nasty snowstorm that wiped out power for days, and we lived in New England in the middle of farmland. So while our neighbors were within walking distance, it was a short hike to get to them. I don't recall exactly what led to this, but my mother needed to visit a neighbor to lend them something while my father got the generator running. I wanted to go with her, so she put me in the snow sled and pulled me along that way. It was dark out and everything was covered in snow. When we hit the midpoint of the walk back, we both heard this horrifying howl, like something out of a monster movie, which echoed through the forest. My mom picked me up out of the sled and ran home. We both described the sound to my father, who didn't believe us, and then we found something terrifying the next week. We found a bunch of deer that had been torn apart just 30 feet into a wooded path near our house, and not by poachers or hunters. I've been around coyotes my whole life, and they definitely didn't do this either. Coyotes will pick apart their prey and run off with pieces. This was 4 or 5 full-size deer with large chunks missing.
Wow.
Yeesh. That's not good. It's by a garbage account. So
there you go.
That's, yeah. So you're saying it's not legit?
Is it a garbage account?
No. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. We can only suppose that these are factual, but we don't know. Number 69, not quite done living yet. Oh,
really?
I guess so. Me either, for the record. I work for a funeral company, and one afternoon I did a viewing for a man who was having his funeral the next day. Usually we put the bodies back in the fridge, but we'd been really busy, and we only had a very small fridge that was already full. That just doesn't sound good, right? If your fridge is full of bodies, that's not good. On occasions like this, if they've been embalmed, we'd leave them in the chapel with the air conditioner cranked up. So the next morning, I was the first one in, and I walked into the chapel only to be greeted by a horrifying sight. The man who was embalmed was somehow out of his coffin laying face down on the floor. Not sprawled, but perfectly neat, like he floated out of his coffin, turned face down and floated down to the ground. Obviously, I nearly had a heart attack.
Obviously, I almost joined him.
My first thought was that someone had broken in and had done this. Maybe staff members were just playing a prank. It was a very sackable prank, and I couldn't imagine any of our staff doing that for any reason. And what's more was that we had security cameras and motion detectors and swipe cards so you can see who had come and gone. But there was nothing. Ugh, that's creepy. That was by Sweet Cheesecake, 1249.
So, Rachel gets it right. She says, if you come across a group of torn apart deer, that's known as a noping.
A noping. I like that. I like it. Very well done, Rachel. Without a Trace, number 70. And this one is, my aunt and uncle supposedly perished in a car accident back in 2011. They had a head-on collision with a pickup truck, but there was something even more terrifying about that day. The two cars and all the damage was there, but their bodies weren't. The car didn't catch on fire. The windshield wasn't broken enough to show that they had been ejected, but they were just gone.
Huh.
My uncle's wallet was found by a guy mowing someone's yard 23 miles away.
Wow.
About a month later.
Wow.
Oof.
23 miles?
Yeah.
How did his wallet walk 23 miles from an accident?
Or did it? Were they abducted? Were they abducted, Don, and the car was left in motion and crashed?
Yeah.
And they were just gone. I don't know.
Did they check the house 23 miles away?
Yeah, it's.
Did you do a check through the house?
Some guy.
Do they have a 5
Some guy
freezer?
named Wild Bill making skin suits. Eesh, Ikes.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Hey, God of Beverages wrote that one. Oof, that's a creepy one. Number 71. Get Out. My hubby traveled to another city for work, which wasn't that far from where we lived. He was staying at his uncle's condo, and my hubby is the type who tries to power through everything, so when he called me, he said he needed me. Well, I went, and I arrived at the condo and found him in the living room asleep. I went to gently wake him up and let him know I arrived. He got up rather quickly, and with his eyes closed, began to talk. He said, they don't like him, and they've been hunting him. I asked him, who are they? And he said, the ones that stay here.
Wow.
I didn't know why or how he was talking to me because he's not awake, and it's starting to freak me out. So I asked again, who are they? And he said, the ghosts.
Wow.
I said, there's no such thing as ghosts. But then he got excited and said, they're here. Before I could ask another question, he told me that the lights would go off, letting us know they're not happy with me there. Sure enough, the lights in the living room turned off, as well as everywhere downstairs. My hubby then laid back down and started sleeping.
Okay.
I stayed the night with him, and he talked on and off again without opening his eyes, saying they had pushed him down the stairs and made his clothes fly out the closet. I tried to sleep, but kept having weird dreams of an Asian family looking at me from the stairs. Finally, morning came. My hubby woke up and asked me what I was doing there. He said he didn't remember calling me or the conversations he was having.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, that's an interesting thought that I just had. What if you could have your consciousness abducted, not just your body, but your consciousness abducted, and like a telepathy thing,
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Overridden, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like a walk-in kind of thing.
Yep.
But it only affects your cognizance when you're asleep.
Right.
They're getting those theta waves and they're messing with them. And
sure.
I
mean, that's a very good possibility. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing as a possession or an oppression. That is a hijacking of your emotions and your thoughts and creating all kinds of darkness instead, and really screwing with your state of being. But
right.
yeah, that's very possible. Zalomi 1977 wrote that one. Number 72, the grandparents.
Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo. Oh, hey, everyone. Leo Medic. Sorry. There we go. When my mom was about 3 years old, my grandma and grandpa moved into an apartment on the 9th floor in downtown Columbus. After they moved in, she didn't have many friends, so she developed an imaginary friend named Kathy. When he gets back, who's he? I don't know. Maybe the grandpa? Okay, when he gets back, my mother is playing in the corner by a window with Kathy. As soon as he walks in, the dog stares straight at my mom and starts barking and snarling. All the hairs on his back stand straight up, and he's ready to attack. And my mom starts screaming, and all of a sudden the dog stops, and my mom just starts crying. My grandparents are freaked out at this point and ask my mom what happened, and she says that Kathy fell out of the window, and that she never played with or mentioned Kathy again.
Wow.
Hey, that was by Two Bears. TW0 Bears. That's pretty sad. Is it a spirit? Maybe.
Wow.
Pretty creepy though. A message unheeded, number 73. This happened to me and my sister. It was summer break in the 90s, and my mom needed my sister to take our van to get new tires put on. My mom managed a finance office and did not like taking time off of work because everyone always depended heavily on her. My sister took me along with her and her boyfriend, now husband, to get the tires put on. When we were done, we took her boyfriend home and we headed back to our place. The highway we took to get home from her boyfriend's was known to be pretty dangerous. There are a lot of bends and curves, and we're rounding a particularly bad curve. A truck swerved into our lane, and before we knew it, the truck had flipped our van over into a ditch. Yikes. After the impact, the first thing I remember was looking over and seeing my sister bloodied from the face to her stomach. She was trying to unbuckle my seatbelt to help me out, but she couldn't even hold her head up. First responders found me in the back of the van trying to get out and screaming for help. They used the jaws of life to get my sister out.
Oh, wow.
I was taken to a local hospital for observation, and my sister was airlifted by a helicopter, and the family in the truck was moving house, and a little boy holding a lamp had the lamp puncture into his neck when it broke. Now for the creepy part. The night before the accident, my mom hadn't slept well at all for a very eerie reason. She had woken up to the sound of chanting at the side of her room. She said it sounded like three voices all talking in unison saying, "Take a floater and do it yourself." At her job, a floater was someone who came in during the week if someone took a day off. Hearing the voices scared her, and she didn't really understand the meaning of what she was being told. When she woke the next day, she felt sick to her stomach all day and had a massive migraine to boot. Around 4 o'clock, she called my aunt to come and pick her up from work because she couldn't function any longer and her illness was worsening. She called my dad before she left her office and asked if we were home yet. When he told her that we had not yet arrived, she told him he needed to leave now and go look for us. As he pulled up to the highway, he noticed that everything was blocked off and there were first responders everywhere. He rushed up to the sheriff and told him that it was his girls in the wreck. They hadn't identified us yet and were still working on the scene, and they turned him away.
Oh, Jesus.
A few minutes later, the sheriff came over telling my dad it was us and gave him an update on our condition. It took my mom a long time to forgive herself for not understanding that message. If she would have taken a floater that day, we would not have been on the highway. The boy in the truck may have lived, and my sister would not have spent 3 weeks in the ICU. Creepy Association 8 wrote that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really sad. That's really one of those things. You know, if you get one of those omens, listen to them. Listen to them. I don't know. It's like those things come for a reason.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yikes. Pretty creepy. Well, that's where we're going to leave this because, Don, we're about at the hour break now.
No way.
Dude. That's how it rolls here in the portal. Time is just an anomaly. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. We're going to take the hour break here, just a couple more minutes, and we'll be back for the second hour of the show. Don't go away.
The possession of Deborah Logan.
I don't even know what that means. All right, we'll be right back.
True frequency.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me as their lies keep falling apart. With my silence, I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness, just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise, you're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed.
Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that's different from themselves. Her life force is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeist are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we're into the second hour now. And as such, yes. Hey Brent, are you still going to have Timothy Renner on your show? He was on Spaced Out Radio the other day. Yeah, it's Timothy's one of those guys I've been meaning to reach out to, but I've just been swamped. But yeah, he's been suggested to come on the show by many people. And it's someone I would love to have on and interview. So I'll reach out to him and at least try to get in contact with him and see how it works. The next several weeks are going to be a real maelstrom for us.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things going on. And remember, the week of the 12th and half of the next week, there won't be any shows live. Unless I do some streams, just impromptu streams here and there. But so remember, if you're not already subscribed, please get subscribed. And if you're checking us out on YouTube, and ring the bell so you know when I go live. None of it, yeah.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah, none of it's going to be planned. If I do stream, it's just going to be, hey, how you guys doing? Little impromptu streams here and there as I'm, doing my thing, because I got a lot going on in the next, and during that week and a half. And then Donna and I do it again at the end of the month. So we got a lot of things coming up.
Got a lot of things coming up.
It's an exciting year for us, but we do have a phone call. And this is the one I've been expecting.
Uh-oh.
It is done. All right, let's see who's on the horn here. This is area code 410. You're on the air.
Hey, fellas, it's Android Purity. How you doing?
Hey,
I'm
Android.
doing good, man. How you doing?
Pretty well. Thank you. Don looks like he's hiding in the dark over there today.
Yeah, I just turned my light on because I noticed that, and it really didn't help much. So I'm just one of those guys.
Don's sucking in all the wavelengths. He's solar charged.
He's like a giant black hole, or maybe just a little black hole.
He's just like a
sucking in all
giant
that,
solar panel. But yeah, man, what's going on? You and I have been talking by email, so I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, I got a story. Yeah, I got a story for everyone. It's not a paranormal experience, but not a spooky one. At least I don't think it is, anyways.
No.
So this happened a couple years ago. I was just working from home. Was sitting at my dining room table on my laptop, and my back was sitting towards my backsliding glass door of my house, and suddenly out of silence, I've been sitting there for hours, nothing happened, uneventful, like every day working from home, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, I just hear the loudest, like, big thunk sound, like somebody throwing a basketball up against a glass door or something.
Oof.
Right behind me, and I was afraid to turn around at first and thought, oh man, there's got to be somebody on my deck pounding on the glass door trying to get my attention. And so I slowly get the nerve to turn around after 2-3 seconds, and I turn around and I don't see anything there, but then I look down on the ground and they're standing right in front of the glass door. I mean, inches, 2, 3, 4 inches in front of the glass door, is a large hawk, probably standing 2 feet tall, almost 2 feet tall, just sitting there looking right inside me. He's looking in the window, in the door, looking in at me, just standing there, and I'm like, what in the world? I just was totally in shock, and I just stood there. We stood there looking at each other for literally 15, 20 seconds. Like, he didn't move, he didn't fly away, nothing. And I'm like, oh man, I finally kind of snapped out of it, after staring at him for 15, 20 seconds, and took out my phone, was like, I got to get a picture of this. And as soon as I take out my phone, I don't know, it's almost like he realized I was about to take a picture of him doing something strange, and he kind of like flew and hovered up in the air, and then got onto the banister of the deck. He didn't fly away, just got on the banister of the deck, got further away. And yeah, that's the picture there on the screen there that I got a picture of right when he kind of flew off the ground, off the floor of the deck onto the banister there. And he stood there for several more minutes after that, just sitting there, and I was just looking at him, and it was just the strangest experience. And then just totally random, I'm like, that's so weird that hawk would fly into the door like that, and if he flew into the door, why didn't he fly away right after? You just sitting there looking at me.
Right.
And I told my girlfriend about it, when she got home from work, and I was like, you wouldn't believe the strangest thing happened today. And as soon as I told her, she gasped and was like, oh my gosh. She's like, that's really good medicine. So her father actually studies Native American culture and beliefs all of her life growing up, so she knows a lot of stuff about that. Mm-hmm. And she says, the Native Americans believe that, when a hawk, graces you with its presence, it means good medicine, good things are to come, or give you good health, or it can mean, many different good things. And, basically the closer it comes to you, the better medicine it is for you. Mm-hmm. And it was so close to you, it must mean something really great's coming. And I was like, whatever, I just kind of blew it off. I thought it was a cool experience. And, about a week passed, and not much time at all, maybe less than a week, give or take a week. And, I was at work in the office, not working from home. And, my manager called me in the office and basically told me that, I was getting a huge raise. I mean, largest raise I've ever had at any job in my life.
Wow.
And, so it was a pretty sizable raise, and totally unexpected out of nowhere. And then I came home and, told my girlfriend, you wouldn't believe what happened at work today. Got a huge raise, and told her, and she's like, I told you, that's what that hawk was for, that something good was coming. And I was like, wow, I guess you were right. I guess that's what it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. And as I responded to you, I think that I truly do believe in signs and symbols like that. I think that's kind of the divine message is given to us in the form of symbols, and certainly what I was familiar with the hawk is that it's the messenger of the Great Spirit, and it brings you a message of some kind. But yeah, I think obviously it did have something to bear for you, or some kind of symbol that you should pay attention to for things that are coming up, and as you found out. And I think that's really powerful. That's really powerful stuff. I think that we're probably given these signs and symbols all the time. It's just that our ancestors knew to look for them.
Right.
But in our modern westernized thinking, we ignore these things, like when you see a hawk, or when you see an eagle, when you see a fox, or any other animal. That these could very well be signs or messages in the form of things that we need to be aware of, and I think that's very powerful stuff. I really do.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And actually, a little more piece to it is I was actually looking to leave that position to another position within the same company. Right. And my manager actually knew that, and so the raise was, I guess, kind of a bargaining chip to get me to stay.
Sure.
However, ever since that happened, so I think it was not only a sign that maybe a raise was coming, but maybe a sign that I need to stay in that position longer for other reasons.
Sure.
And not only did that raise come, but actually, just a few weeks ago, I also got another significant raise, and not only a raise, but a small promotion along with it this time. So it actually worked out in the long run even furthermore. Wow. So it definitely was a sign, I think, yeah.
That's really exciting. I think that stuff is really powerful. Yeah, that's an awesome story, and I like those kind of stories too. I mean, we don't need just spooky, terrifying stories on the show. I love these kind of stories because they remind us to open our eyes. Don't you think, Don?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it adds that spiritual dimension that people want to poo-poo. You know, it's like, you know, spiritual stuff. It's not paranormal, but it kind of is. You know, I mean, these odd things happen, like the hawk and the you know, paying attention to what that pretends. You know, and so it gives us a little reminder of what we've forgotten, as Brent said, and good things to come, you know. So yeah, I mean, you don't want to listen to all of them, but pay attention. I always say, you know, it's pay attention to what you're doing. If you see an angel number, or I have 2 ravens over by my house now. I have no idea where they came from. They've not been there before, but this year I've got 2 big ravens in one of the big trees outside my house.
Oh, cool.
And so it's like, whoa, okay, 2 ravens. Yeah. Wow. Hi, Odin.
Yeah, Woden's checking up on you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. And from the chat,
it was really cool.
From the chat, Titan says, seeing the hawk purity means look at the bigger picture. So that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Very good point.
I think so too. It definitely helped me look at the bigger picture further. You know, I guess my job, because, you know, I work for a really large company, so it kind of, you know, benefited me to stay there and grow within the company.
Right. No, that's really cool. And Thor said he likes your stain on your deck.
Yeah, the stain on your deck's on fleek, pal.
Yep. So you're getting props for that too. Well done.
Awesome. Yeah.
But thanks, man. I really appreciate you calling in and doing this in person, because me reading something like this is such less impact than you sharing it.
Yeah, because it's got the inflection, it's got that emotion that means something to you, and it just adds dimension to the story.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
I really appreciate it. I love sharing, you know, experiences and hearing other people's experiences, because I think it helps us learn more about, you know, the paranormal for sure.
Right.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate it, man. And if anything else comes up, or you remember anything else, just remember where to come.
There you go. Awesome.
Will do.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
buddy.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Okay, see you now.
That was really cool.
I love those. And because I really think we've forgotten that stuff, you know? We've forgotten that these signs are out there, and that the universe talks to us, whatever that means to you.
Right.
But that it does communicate. And, you know, even people that are praying, you know, for something really powerful, they may be given all these symbols and signs to kind of,
because they've forgotten.
Yeah, they just don't know what to look for because we've forgotten. But I think that these are, in many ways, you know, like he was playing with the idea of changing a position, and then this happened, and sure enough, you know, that was his reminder in many ways to look for the good things coming. There's something good coming, and to focus on the big picture. And it sounds like him staying in that position was exactly right for him. So that's really cool. I think that's beautiful. I think it's absolutely perfect. So thanks again for calling in and sharing that, brother. And if any of you got stories like that, we'd love to hear those as well. I think those are powerful reminders to all of us that there's a lot more going on here than we know. And when, you know, our ancestors, I think, knew and knew what to look for. Now, I don't mean to confuse that with like superstition and stuff like that. I think superstition is kind of silly for the most part, but I don't I don't want to jinx myself in any way. But I like, for instance, I have a black cat, and this cat loves to walk into my path every chance it gets. And so if that's bad luck, then I'm absolutely doomed. But so far, things have been just fine. Yeah. He's just usually hungry.
Well, it's fine until he gets really hungry.
Yeah, no.
He got one of those got milk commercials.
Well, when he gets really hungry, he just finds food to drag out of somewhere. It's like, where did you even find that? How did that happen? But then I got to remember I got a 5-year-old, so.
Right. Right.
There's all kinds of food in weird places in this house. Not really. We clean regularly, but it's a part of life. But anyway, let's keep the ball rolling here. I want to get into a news report that I found, and I thought this was really cool. And this, I don't know. We've covered many times on the show about calls from people that aren't with us anymore. And this one's really timely. It's actually coming out of Florida. And it has to do with the condo collapse that happened in Florida.
Oh, I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, apparently a condo absolutely collapsed, or at least partially collapsed, as you can see.
Right.
For those of you that are looking on YouTube, you can see the picture that's included here. But for those of you that aren't watching on YouTube, you know, I'm sure you've seen the news clips and briefs and stuff. But yeah, it's absolutely tragic. There's apparently some structural issues. Or it was McAfee's condo, and, you know, he obviously disappeared or stopped living in jail in Mexico and apparently left a message. I don't know if there's any truth to it or not, but that he had a bunch of stuff saved in his condo. And I don't know if this was his condo or not, but anyway, I shouldn't even do that because I don't like to get into conspiracies. But I did stumble across that. I'm like, ooh, that's creepy. But here it is, family report. This is coming from baynews9.com. And it's, when was it dated? June 27th, so it's very recent. It says, family gets 16 calls from line of grandparents missing after condo collapse. A hopeful family, let me blow this up, my God. Yeah, exactly. Let's make it bigger. A hopeful family has received 16 calls from a landline belonging to their grandparents who are among the 156 unaccounted for in the Surfside condo tower collapse, a Miami news station is reporting. Arnie and Miriam Notkin lived on the third floor in the south wing of the 12-story building that partially collapsed early Thursday morning. The cause of the collapse is still being investigated. In the days since, their grandson, Jake Samuelson, said his mother has been receiving calls from the Notkins' landline phone that they kept next to their bed. We're trying to rationalize what is happening here. We're trying to get answers, Samuelson told WPLG in Miami. Samuelson said that he's now received 16 calls from his grandparents' number since Thursday, according to WPLG. The first call reportedly came at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday, nearly 20 hours after the building crashed to the ground. When Samuelson's family returned from their reunification center on Friday morning, it found 15 more calls from the Notkins landline number on their caller ID, WPLG reported. However, when someone answered, only static could be heard on the other line. We're all sitting there in the living room, my whole family, Diane, my mother, Samuelson told WPLG, we're just shocked, and we kind of thought nothing of it because when we answered, it was just static. The family says it has not received any additional calls since Friday night. Arnie Notkin, 87, is a physical education teacher and coach at several Miami Beach schools. His wife, 81-year-old Miriam, is a banker and real estate agent, according to the TV station. The official death toll on the Surfside, Florida building collapse rose to 9 on Sunday after search and rescue teams recovered 4 additional bodies overnight. Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava confirmed the new death toll in a news conference Sunday. As of today, 1 victim passed away in the hospital, and we've received 8 more victims on site. So
recovered.
What? Oh, we've recovered 8 more victims on the site. So I'm confirming today that the death toll is at 9, Cava told reporters. Still, more than 150 people remain unaccounted for. And as rescue operations stretch into the 4th day, authorities and loved ones fear the death toll could go much higher. Wow. So they're getting 16 phone calls from the landline that's a part of this collapse mess.
Right.
And when they have answered the calls, they only get static, which is exactly what we hear so many times when people get phone calls from deceased loved ones. Or
and they're on the 3rd floor too. Look
on
at
the
that.
3rd.
Look at how crushed that is.
I know. There's just nothing viable in any of this that collapsed.
Right.
You know, it's just, and it's really, really tragic and sad, of course. But yeah, that's very interesting. So it's almost like they were reaching out to their loved ones, which is, it's both tragic and kind of beautiful at the same time, in a real, I don't know, odd way, I guess. But I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share that because it sounds like they might have gotten phone calls, ghostly phone calls. I certainly hope that they find them or did find them alive or whatever, but I don't know how long they can dig through that and expect to find survivors. That's got to be absolutely heartrending. But anyway, our hearts go out to those people affected by this, of course. It's not we're not trying to sensationalize the story or anything, but it is curious. It's very similar to many things we've covered on the show. So time will tell, I guess. What happened?
Okay, I've never heard this before, and I'm gonna put it. Okay, so Susan Jablonski in chat says, "Birdie, birdie in the sky, drop some whitewash in my eye. I'm a big girl. I don't cry. I'm just glad that cows don't fly."
Jeez.
Wow.
Wow. Good one. All right.
Oh, that was good.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how they got on seagulls, but we were talking about hawks earlier with Android.
Uh-huh.
And somebody mentioned that seagulls are just flying rats. Well, I said they're flying rats, but they got on pigeons and started talking about doves and how getting pooped on by birds is good luck.
Oh, well, there you have it. I didn't even know that, Don.
I think that's a load of bird poop, but whatever.
That might be.
Yeah.
This one's a little longer.
Funny.
That was
cute. Funny. Yeah, cows flying would not be good.
All right, I got a quick Bigfoot report. That was from January 2nd of this year, and it was updated February 8th, 2021, and it's coming from Colorado's Summit County. And we can just get through this before the break, and then we'll come back with more Bigfoot stories when we return. But let's get to this one, and this is coming from the Gazette. Pulitzer Prize winning journalism. It's established 1872, but written by Spencer McKee, January 2nd, 2021. It says, believe it or not, Bigfoot has been reportedly spotted in Colorado more than 100 times in recent years, including one notable daylight spotting that occurred in Summit County, Colorado. During this summer 2019 spotting, a daytime hiker was taking a break near an old log cabin in the area of Mayflower Gulch near Frisco when he spotted something odd at about 11,000 feet of elevation. He reports seeing a large bipedal creature attempting and failing to climb a 20-foot high snow wall. After the failed attempt at scaling the barrier, the creature moved on and out of sight. The hiker was joined by two others to conduct a search of the area, and during this search, the group was able to locate prints in the snow, including large handprints and footprints, which were photographed. That being said, they were unable to again locate the actual creature. The reported run-in with the mysterious creature, along with photographic evidence of the prints, was enough to prompt Bigfoot Field Research Organization investigator Scott Miles to further look into the report. Miles decided to meet up with the witness at the site of the spotting with the second investigator, Scott Walter. At the scene, the witness was able to recount the sighting in a manner consistent with the initial report, pointing out exact landmarks involved in his story. After deeper analysis of the witness account, investigator Scott Miles wrote, I believe that he, the witness, saw exactly what he reported and was a witness to a Sasquatch, probably a young individual that accidentally or naively got caught in a compromising situation in the daytime in a fairly high traffic area. Wow. This sighting is considered to be a Class A sighting, meaning that misinterpretation or misidentification of a sighting can be ruled out with greater confidence compared to other sightings that may occur in the dark or obscured settings. Summit County is no stranger to Bigfoot sightings, with multiple sightings in the area having been reported in the past. One notable local finding was covered by Summit Daily in 2003, sparked by the discovery of a mysterious footprint near Buffalo Mountain. Read the full report and images from the Mayflower Gulch encounter here.
Wow.
And we can definitely do that when we come back. We'll look at this in more depth, but there you have it, folks. We're going to go to our last break already, Don.
Wow.
How does that seem possible?
I don't know.
I swear to God, and I realize I say it all the time, but it really does boggle my imagination how quickly these shows move by. We're going to get into more Bigfoot stuff when we come back, some other encounters or reports that are out there, and I think there's some good ones, so we'll see if you guys agree. But I just want to mention before we go to break that if you're listening on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, to tune in or just continue to listen after the show, because following us is Paisley Wild with her show, The Spaces Between. Is that funny?
Thor says, cows kind of do when ETs go coring. That's something Brent would have said.
That's right. Nothing like an anal cord to set your plate.
Oh, jeez, man.
I'm just saying that's what they find in those mutilations.
Removing O-rings.
They're like washers in space.
Oh, gosh. What's this here bushing?
It's
not a bushing.
It's an air seal. All right, folks. Works on the cow, must work on the ship. See what I did there? Oh, thank you. Wow. All right, folks. So Paisley Wild's coming up after us on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, to TalkStream Live. You can also check her out on youtube.com/thespacesbetween. But we got another half hour to go, so don't go away. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the last half hour of our journey tonight. It's going really, really quickly. What happened?
D.
D?
She says, I picture Grays with a little stand at an interstellar rest stop selling deep-fried calamari.
Ooh. That's a visual I didn't need.
Corn again?
Yeah, corn again. From the crop circles. That's right. All right, folks. Well, we are about to dive into the last half hour here. So, I hope you guys are having a good time. Thank you. I chatted a little bit with all y'all in the chat on YouTube over the break, but I hope those of you on TFR are enjoying yourselves as well. We are always thrilled to do these shows and to bring you the best paranormal entertainment we know how to deliver, which sometimes is more than others. Sometimes that means a whole lot of different things. But we always try to bring it with a little bit of humor, so we hope you enjoy the journey, because there's a lot of shows out there, and a lot of people are doing it in a real creepy, spooky way.
Yeah.
And I figure, well, stuff's heavy enough. We might as well have a good time with it. And we do. So hopefully you enjoy it. With a little marinara sauce. I guess so. Chocolate starfish. We're on the food, Don.
Yeah, no, that's not food.
Why? What's a chocolate starfish?
Brent.
Is it a poop thing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a poop thing.
Okay, I don't know. I lead a very sheltered life. I consider myself knowledgeable about some things, but absolutely
Oh, so naive.
naive with so many others. I don't know. Chocolate starfish. Okay, well, I appreciate that heads up, because I'd have been the guy going, they got peanuts in
Oh,
it.
that sounds good. Yeah, peanuts.
Hey, look at that. They got corn and peanuts in
It's
there.
just like a Snickers.
So
my
Jordan
gosh.
says Brent's so wholesome. I wish that were the case, Jordan. I'm just an idiot sometimes. It's not quite so endearing. I'm just, there's a lot of things in life that I've just missed because I didn't get it. But oh no. Well, anyway, that's okay. I'm okay admitting that, because I'll be the first one to say I don't get it. And
Raspberry says, I love you, goofballs.
Absolutely. We love you too. I cannot believe I accidentally got him to say that twice. Oh, nice. So it was all strategic, huh?
Oh, it's
I'm on to you.
Sawdust Beast is in chat with us tonight.
Oh,
There's
very
Sissy.
cool.
Hi, Sissy.
Good
Hi,
to see you
Sawdust.
guys.
How you doing?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Some
was
peers out there visiting with us.
Well, that's
Nice.
wonderful. We love it when our peers stop in to say hello and be a part of the festivities.
When they appear.
When they appear. Thank you. We're here all night. It's so clever. It's all that low-hanging fruit, Don. That's where we live. That's why it's dark. I didn't realize the overhead light's off, Don.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why they're not. So I had to turn the light blue.
That
That's
looks
actually
good.
supposed to be white.
Well, it looks pretty blue to me. But anyway.
I'm so blue.
I'll have a
Sorry.
blue episode without you. All right, folks, we're going to continue on before this gets any more stupid than it already is.
Too late.
Yeah, we've already been circling the drain here
That threshold's
for
been
a
crossed.
while. So I want to see. Okay, so this is just
Yeah,
the
that's
same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, though, isn't it? That we just read. Yeah. Yeah.
it
It's
does.
just the
Yeah,
same
that's-
thing that we
that's
just
the
read.
same thing.
So I thought we were going to cover that a little bit on the way back here, but no, we're not gonna. We're not gonna. We're just gonna continue on, but
Just not gonna do it.
not gonna that. Not gonna that. All right. So, where's the other Bigfoot thing? Here it is. This one is coming from theguardian.com, and this one's a little different, but it's a filmmaker who made a documentary is being interviewed here, and we'll get right into it. But it's from theguardian.com, and it says, "I am now truly afraid of the woods, behind the hunt for Sasquatch." And it says some of the things come up shocking. All right, so it says, in a new docuseries film, filmmaker Joshua Rofe, R-O-F-E, delved into a myth of a monster that led him to a horrifying murder.
Wow.
I wonder if this isn't the one that was on Hulu, was it?
I have no idea.
Audiences who hit play on Joshua Rofe's new documentary miniseries Sasquatch, in the expectation that someone's finally gotten some straight answers about that elusive hirsute bastard will be sorely disappointed. I wasn't hung up on whether I believe in Bigfoot or whether I buy the details of the story. All of that became secondary and fell to the wayside, Rolf tells The Guardian via Zoom. I was struck by the visceral fear present in all encounter stories. I was taken by how afraid these people were, which was totally authentic. His 3-part project takes the myth of the shy giants allegedly hiding in the wilds of the West Coast as a jumping-off point, leaving behind the cryptozoological to pursue something more tangible and knowable. What begins as an inspection of Bigfoot as a sociological phenomenon leads Rolf and his partner in true crime journalist David Holthaus to a 1993 triple homicide said by locals to be the handiwork of the infamous ape creature. But there's a far darker truth buried beneath the legend, pertaining instead to a mammal capable of greater violence than any other in the animal kingdom. Some monsters are real, warns the production's tagline. Naturally, it's referring to Homo sapiens. In February of 2018, Rolf was wrapping up a series on Lorena Bobbitt. Oh, he's hit some good ones there. Oh, wow. When he started itching for a new challenge. As he researched the noted amputator, I'm just going to skip part of that. Just say amputator. He was stricken by how much archival footage and other supplemental materials were readily available to any average Joe willing to file the right requests to the right people. He wanted to blaze his own path, break some new ground, put some shoe leather to pavement, whichever metaphor you prefer. I got to thinking, wow, what if the next thing we do's something you can't Google? Rolf said, I wanted something about which no publicly available information existed. And this is the actual trailer on Hulu. But I'm not going to show that as we're on the network. It wouldn't reach part of our audience. But his friend and producer, Zach Kreger, recommended the Sasquatch Chronicles podcast as a collection of interviews.
Who?
Sasquatch Chronicles.
Never heard of her.
Oh, my God. A collection of interviews with people spinning yarns of their run-ins. Right away, I had no interest, Rolf laughs. I'm not a huge monster movie person. Not that into creature features, he told me, just to just try one episode, and 4 days later, I'd listened to 11 of them. He was moved by the intensity and vulnerability of the contributors and realized that even if the 10-foot oddity they all claimed to have glimpsed might not be real, his potency in the collective imagination definitely was. This spark of inspiration set him on a search for an angle, some event or incident that spoke to the distinct spirit of Sasquatch country. If you were me and you came up with a crazy pitch of Sasquatch murder mystery, there's one person to reach out to, and that's David Holthaus. Rolf explains he has experience as a gonzo journalist, investigative processes, everything. When I contacted him, I thought this might be a bridge too far in the weird department. So I said, hey man, this is going to be a strange text, but I'm looking into crimes linked to the Sasquatch myth, thinking I might want to pursue that as the next project. He wrote back immediately, I love it. I got one. I'll call you in 5. Nearly 30 years ago, in the splotch of Northern California known as the Emerald Triangle for growing much of America's marijuana, 3 men working in the industry were savagely killed. The details were confounding, however, as these were not the brisk, efficient offings of a rival operation. None of the crop was stolen or destroyed, aside from the stalks crushed as the men were ripped limb from limb. As is human tendency, Mendocino County residents told themselves a tall tale to make sense of the tragic and inexplicable, and a rumor that Sasquatch might be the culprit that took shape. Dispelling it brought Rolf and Holthaus into an underworld that was a lot trickier to penetrate, peopled by both affable eccentrics and humorless lifers glaring with the capacity for violence. There were a few times when people made it clear to us they didn't want us to film when we were filming. Rolf recalls there was one time where David was going to meet somebody on his own, a new source, and it went from a broad daylight meeting in a public place to a close to midnight meeting in a private location after a few changes. When he got there, there were 8 other people he didn't know were going to be present. That was a tense night. They wanted to drive him 3 hours away into the middle of the night to yet another location to talk to somebody who had a crucial piece of information. That whole night, any time David could sneak away, he was texting me with updates just to have a record of where he was and what was happening. I didn't know which way it would shake out, but we had a few nights like that where we didn't know if he'd be leaving the place he'd gone to. Things took on a feeling of a paranoid thriller meets a graphic novel as Holthouse tromped further and further into an insular subculture of manufacturers and growers like the grizzled, captivating ghost dance. If your patch, that is your farm, your livelihood, has fungus or mold, isn't growing right, you bring in ghost dance for a few weeks and he'll save your whole season, Rolf says. Our dual guides lead us to the realization that the whole Bigfoot hullabaloo was something between a misunderstanding and misdirection. Less to do with the beast and more to do with the shifting dynamics of the gradually industrializing region. The fact that the 3 men slaughtered were Mexican laborers proves crucial to understanding what's really afoot, entangled as it is in tensions between Latino migrants and white farmers. All these things, the racism, the trauma of the land, the multiple unsolved homicides, each was a door for us to open, he says. It all informs the story because they're all interconnected. Well, if they're unsolved, how can they be so sure that that's what happened? I don't understand, right?
Yep.
The miniseries comes to Hulu on the Stoner's holiday of the 20th of April through Rolf, though Rolf wouldn't quite recommend it as entertainment for the bleary-eyed. If you get paranoid when you get high, you probably don't want to be high while watching this, he says. It can be scarier in the way that creeps up on you. You can make it scarier for yourself, turn it all 3D. Far from the kooky exploration of the out there suggested by the title or the cartoonish style of the animated segments, the series takes an intense look at weighty topics, which stakes unusually high for a cold case. In getting to the bottom of what happened that grim night, Rolf assembles a profile of an area rapidly changing, along with an increasingly legal business of weed. Some of the things that came up were so shocking, but once the shock wears off, everything comes to the feel logical and inevitable, he says. Ghost Dance speaks very candidly in the third person about where corporation is taking the industry. It does the same thing it does to any free-spirited craft. It ruins it. The whole process imbued Rolf with an indoor kid raised around New York and Jersey with a newfound respect, and not just for an industry far from the hippie image it once had, or for the men and women defiantly soldiering on through the grief left behind, but for nature itself. I didn't even grow up going camping, he says. This is all new to me, and the thing that stuck with me is how massive the forest really is. If you're out there long enough, you go deep enough into that forest that you can't hear the cars anymore. You wouldn't be surprised to see a brontosaurus walk by. Anything could be hiding in there. It's prehistoric, and that's a powerful thing. Bigfoot doesn't need to be real ultimately. The not knowing is frightening enough. In a way, I wasn't before I embarked on this weird adventure, and I am now truly afraid of the woods, he says. Huh. So, that's the part of this, and I've heard a lot of the buzz around this, that a lot of people were really disappointed, and honestly, it was really marketed in such a way as to appeal to Bigfoot enthusiasts. Right. And I think that was kind of crappy. I really do. Right. Because obviously they don't really entertain the whole idea that it could have been Bigfoot. Now, the weird part is if 3 adult men, no matter the race, are torn apart, limbs from the body, I mean, and it's out in the woods.
Right.
How do you explain that? Somebody would have to have an extraordinary amount of strength, and it remains unsolved.
Right.
Now, I don't know if there's details about the condition of the bodies that would suggest it was done by people.
Right.
But they hadn't identified who. But is it impossible that somebody really pissed off some Sasquatch and ended up getting ripped apart? No, I don't think it is at all.
No. So
I find it funny for the fact that it is a cold case. It's an old unsolved case. But through their forays and talking to a bunch of people who worked on pot farms,
Right.
They seem to have come up with this whole solution to it.
Right.
That grounds it out into the really mundane and ugly. And I don't think that they are capable of doing that.
Right. Android Purity says, it's true, I saw it. It was good, except it was misleading and had a disappointing end with no evidence relating to Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I think Sissy said I was disappointed too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it was really put out there for us, but
Right.
it was, it really concentrated on something other than us, or them, I should say.
Right.
Them.
Yeah.
It turned into something totally different. I haven't seen it yet.
Nor
I
have
might
I.
just see it just because, I watch stuff, but
But they weren't some of these representatives for this film at the Medellin Falls thing? Weren't they in that first booth, the Hulu? Right, weren't they?
no,
No.
no.
Oh, that was a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. That was my mistake then. I know there was one booth of people were there that I didn't, but they had something advertised for Hulu, and I thought, oh, that must be this, but that's my mistake then. Yeah. But here's the thing. It's an unsolved case. They have a theory, and they made a film about their theory.
Right.
But again, unless you can completely disprove something,
Right.
it doesn't invalidate it.
Right.
Just because you have a different theory doesn't mean that it invalidates everyone else's theory, unless you can prove that your theory is true. Therefore, it's no longer a cold case; it's a solved case.
Right.
And it's not solved. That's my bottom line on it is, if they didn't gather enough evidence to go ahead and bring it to the authorities and say, look, we know what happened. Here's what happened, and here's how we found out, and the end. And then they're like, oh, well, we finally closed this 20, 30-year-old cold case. But they didn't do that.
Mm.
They made a movie. And, God bless them, for being, pretty brilliant with their marketing, because they really did appeal to a pretty hot topic now in the paranormal, supernatural, Fortean realms, and that is Sasquatch.
Right.
That's a huge draw right now. So it was very cleverly marketed, and of course, they do at least address the idea that many locals believe that it was in the region. So... But unfortunately, they seem to be hell-bent on absolutely invalidating that in light of more, mundane things. So whatever. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is.
And that's it. That's all there is.
It's all there is. That's all she could read. This one's a little shorter. This one we can fit in as well, and this is another Sasquatch thing. I just pulled up a few tonight. I'm just blowing it up so I can actually read it to you guys, because I love me some reading. All right, folks, here we go. This is from the redheaded, from kimkemp.com, and it says redheaded black belt. I don't know. News, nature, and community through the Emerald Triangle. And it says, new Bigfoot sighting reported south of the Benbow Inn. Now, this is from February 6th of 2021, and by Kim Kemp, is KYM Kemp, wrote the article. And it says, according to a new entry on the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization webpage, the elusive but iconic hairy creature was sighted by Rick Bates on Saturday, January 23rd, 2021, between Benbow Inn and Richardson Grove. I'm still not sure what state this is, though. I wish they would give more information. He said, he wrote, I was driving home from Brookings, Oregon. Okay, so there we go. On I-123-21. Okay, January 23rd, 21. What?
I made a mistake.
Oh.
You are absolutely right.
Okay.
That was Wayne Stapleton.
Wayne Stapleton. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was driving home from the Brookings, Oregon on January 23rd, 21. I was southbound on Highway 101 south of Garberville, California, and south of the Benbow Inn. The road makes a few turns and the speed limit drops in the area. As I rounded a sweeping right-hand turn, I saw a figure on the southbound shoulder of the highway. I was the only vehicle in the area at about 8:15 p.m., and my speed was about 45 to 50 miles per hour as I passed the figure. The figure was laying on the shoulder of that road on its right side, and I estimated the height to be about 7 feet. I was looking at the creature I was looking at the creature's back, sorry, and noticed it had broad shoulders and a thick torso shape. While the shape similar to a human, it was not human. It was not a bear either. I could see muscular features in its glutes and a head on the shoulders that was somewhat tapered towards the top and being held off the ground. Its hair was a chocolate brown and very coarse. The hair was not fur like a bear at all. I turned around a distant past the spot and returned to where I had seen it. No other vehicles had gone north or south from the time I saw the creature to the time I returned to its location, 2 minutes estimate. When I got to the spot where I'd seen it, the creature was gone. As an avid hunter and fisherman, I spent a lot of time in the woods. I spent every summer camping in that area as well as a kid. I've never seen anything like what I saw just this evening. An investigator, Matthew Moneymaker, the website's creator, contacted Mr. Bates and wrote up his findings. According to him, Bates is a 20-year-old active-duty law enforcement officer. Note, there is a Sergeant Richard Bates with the Rohnert Park Police Department, but we don't know if he and Rick Bates are the same person, or even if there's an actual person with that name. According to the investigator, the sighting is so fresh that it would be worthwhile to look around for tracks in the area if you live in the vicinity. Here's the Google link to show the spot. Click here. Boom. Let's click there and see where it is.
Let's click there.
There it is, Don. Right there at the red dot.
Huh.
I don't know where we are here, though. Oh. Does any of this look familiar to you?
Yeah, that's Cali, isn't it? Is that Cali?
Is this California? King Range. Southern Humboldt. Yeah, California.
Yeah.
Yep, California. Right in California there, folks. And there it is. And look at here's the thing, folks. Look at all the forest. I mean, this is a satellite view, but there is so much forest around here along the coast. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, that's a lot of real estate for something to be living in. That's a lot of area that it can cover. And it's very mountainous, too. You know, it's a lot of ups and downs and such. So, I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a lot of Bigfoot in there. And again, Bluff Creek's in North California.
Digger Dog says, Brent, that's north of me about 2.5 hours.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, I don't know when this report was. Let me get back to it here if I can. Nope, I guess did I click off of it? Where the hell is it? Oh, I was going to read that one tonight, but we didn't have time, or that one. Okay, well, I must have lost the original link. I guess I did when I clicked it, but again, this is just from the start of this year, so wow. There you have it, folks. Yeah. Very cool stuff, but we are winding down to the final minutes of our broadcast tonight, folks. It's gone by in a blur, but the good news is that I'll be back tomorrow night. The bad news is that Don won't be. So
Needs must.
Huh?
Needs must.
Needs must, I understand. But, it's always nice when you're here.
Oh, thank you.
It helps me carry the great weight of the portal. It gets very heavy sometimes. No, but I hope you'll join me tomorrow night right here on the show as we dive into more of this paranormal goodness that we so love and cherish here on the show. But I'll be sure to dig up all kinds of fun for us to go through tomorrow night. Another 2-hour show. I hope you'll join me then. Brent and Don, thanks, guys. Great show. Well, thank you, Titan. We appreciate you guys being here. Any final thoughts in the chat? Now's the time to say them, because we are burning through the last 2 minutes of the show.
2 minutes. Wow. Don't forget Teespring, that kind of thing. And, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a Donism right there. You know that?
It is what it is.
it's a Donism. There you go. I like it. It's right to the point. But if anybody has anything else to say, fantastic show. Thank you, Android. Sawdust Beast, good show.
Yes,
thank you, brother.
Yep.
I appreciate you being here. We gotta coordinate something.
Happy birthday, lunatic friend.
Mr. Mark. We gotta coordinate something.
There you go.
We gotta converge, use our forces, combine them for the good of all mankind.
Or the evilness that may incur.
No, there won't be any evil. We don't do evil here. But yeah, I think a Sawdust Beast Paranormal Portal combination show would be kind of fun. But folks, we are burning through the nights. There's not much left to it.
Sweet.
Just minutes. Again, stick around for Paisley Wild coming up next on TFR, iHeart, tune in and TalkStream Live. Breathe. And you can check out her show on YouTube as well. She streams it live on youtube.com/thespacesbetween. So check her out. That's all in your best interest, of course.
Yes.
So we are just about done here. I'm waiting for the bell, but just remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other, help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. There's the bell.
There's the bell.
All right, good night, everybody. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow night for another 2 hours, 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here.
Good night.
All right, good night, everybody.